What can you do in 60 years? You can impact people's lives. You can transform communities. Over the course of 6 decades, just imagine the impact you can have in 60 years.
We are Sandhills Community College alumnus.
All right, so where would we be without Sandhills?
Well, we wouldn't be here.
No, we wouldn't be
No.
here. I think a lot of good people in this town wouldn't be here.
No.
So I'm sitting up on the stage as a trustee. Nobody had mentioned the fact that my wife was valedictorian of the class.
And they didn't tell me either, so it was a complete surprise to me.
I remember having a conversation with my mom and going, what are you going to do with your life? And, I didn't know.
All right, so Sandhills' 60th anniversary. Wow, that means, man, we're just getting started.
Sandhills Community College has been such a fixture in this community that we've literally educated generations within families. And that's, that's pretty remarkable to think about, the impact that you've had on a family right here in Moore County and how that expands out within the community.
Graham and I both went through the program at Sandhills, the 2-year program, which is an excellent program. And I was probably the second or third group in the horticulture program that went through Sandhills. My dad cut it out of the News-Observer. There was an article in the News-Observer about Sandhills, and it had mentioned the horticulture program. We jumped in the car in a couple of days, drove down here, talked to the people at the college, signed up that day, and I went back and sold everything and moved here.
We started this preschool together, not realizing that when we went to Sandhills Community College that we would be working together in the same school, much less owning a business together.
My mom she's always been like my best friend. It was really enjoyable going to school together with her.
And I just decided that, I'm missing something out of life. And what I really wanted to do was work with children. And this was around the same time that Cece was going to have ideas about going to college and what she wanted to do. And it just turned out that we end up wanting to do the same thing.
I had spent most of my time, taking care of the kids and working, and I felt like it was really something I wanted to do, go back to school. I hadn't done it. None of the kids in my family had a college degree, and so we decided that it was a good time for me to go.
How this all came about with the kids, Lance, Heath, and Lisa graduated the same day. I know that sounds crazy.
Our son Heath was sitting next to me, and as soon as they said one of our own valedictorian, Lisa Cadell, his head just snapped around at me and said, "Did you know?" And of course I did, and it was a complete surprise. I was shell-shocked, but it was a real treat for me because I had worked really hard to get those grades. Wouldn't go even to start studying until everybody in the house had gone to bed. So I'd start studying at 11 o'clock at night. So it was a passion of mine. It was an obsession of mine to get my degree, and I'm so glad I got my associates in business at Sandhills.
What you've done there is you've impacted multiple generations that don't know what Moore and Hope County are like without Sandhills Community College.
We're one of the most respected community colleges in the state of North Carolina. Daddy said it ain't bragging if it's a fact. Originally, when we first started, was so we could be able to train people for the trades. We're probably the biggest economic engine in Moore County.
Sandhills Community College has done and still doing a fantastic job at building not only community, but leaders in their community.
There's no question of the importance of water and sewer. So we, as an engineer, specifically specialize in municipal utilities, water and sewer and stormwater design. What I love about engineering is the ability to help and its ability to provide and serve.
Sandhills' slogan is learn, engage, belong. And I feel like that rings true because I feel as valued now as a member of this community as I did when I was a student at Sandhills. Yeah, I think at first I learned at Sandhills Community College my radiography background, and then I engaged in the community. I became a student tech. I got hired in as an employee at 2 different facilities for x-ray. And now I feel like I've kind of settled into this spot, the next level, where I belong to this community. I feel established. I'm growing every day based on where I came from, just as a student walking these hallways to now a valued employee.
Not just that, about half of our staff also went to Sandhills too, so that's really good. So and they really go through a real process over there that gets them ready to go, which is very good from an employer standpoint. We can call over there and ask if they have interns. We don't have to worry. We hardly even interview them. If they're from the Sandhills program, we hire them on the spot because we know that they're going to be first class.
In Sandhills students, we really find that they are very community focused and family focused and oriented, and that's something that's really important for us at First Health. As we know, nursing is forever changing, is forever moving forward, and Sandhills is continuing to change and move forward with that process. They are always looking for evidence-based, up-to-date nursing and how to give it to our students to ensure that we're giving it to our patients.
Sandhills was such a huge part of the community in Moore County and Southern Pines, so I truly feel like I took that upon myself to be a big part of my community here in Rayford. Community means so much to me just as a business owner in general. The community surrounding you has to support your business and you have to be involved in your community. So just a sense of feeling like I'm involved and making an impact on the community and bringing jobs and just bringing sweetness and caffeine to Rayford is a really cool opportunity for me.
Ladies and gentlemen at Sandhills do a fantastic job of making sure that you're not only a student there, but you're part of the community. Wherever you come from, whether it's Robbins, Vass, Pinehurst, you're part of the community now of Moore County. And Sandhills does a really good job of making sure that not only when you're there, but when you graduate, you're still part of that community.
But the key to our success is the faculty that are training the people. And I think that was really strong when I was there in 1967. And I think that's one thing that has made us successful over the years. We have not deviated.
I'll never forget our first class for EDU 19. Rhonda Hawkins took us outside to the horticulture gardens and just read us a story. And then she said, now how did that feel? You know, how do you feel now? Do you feel calm? Do you feel like you'd like another story? You know, things like that. And so I thought, wow, this is great. I'm going to love this.
I mean, it was a whirlwind year. I really didn't know what to expect. I mean, none of us had ever been up there. None of the players had ever been up there. None of the coaches had ever been up there. Second half, I remember just Coach Apple and I kept talking, and he's continuing to coach hard, and we're up 20, and we're up 20, and finally I think there was 2 minutes left on the clock, and we were still up 22 or 23, and he turns around and goes, "We're gonna win this thing."
It was a really good experience being there. Rhonda Hawkins and Susan Wright and Peggy Johnson were amazing teachers, and they still help us out today, even though we're no longer in the school. They've gone above and beyond what a normal teacher would typically do. You know, we
still ask them questions.
We still ask them questions from time to time.
And we don't want finances to stand in the way of getting a quality education.
It really lives up to what John Dempsey said, is that no student is going to be left behind. Nobody who wants an education or has any desire to do so in Warren Hogue County is going to be left behind.
The scholarships and the foundation, everything we have done, trying to make sure that we gave as many people an opportunity as for education, and there's not going to be any barriers. We transform lives at Sandhills Community College.
What kept me at Sandhills was the culture of it. Not only is it a college, but it is family, it's a village, it's more than an organization, it's a place to call home.
I don't know where I would be without Sandhills, but surely I wouldn't be married to my wife, we wouldn't have our kid, and I wouldn't be in the position I am today. You know, Sandhills is a much bigger part for me than just athletics or a degree or anything like that.
Sandhills for 60 years now has been making great people greater and making leaders year by year, day by day. Or I might not see the next 60th year anniversary, but hopefully my son or one of my daughters is sitting in this chair just reminding you of how great Sandhills is and what they do for the community.
Sandhills has grown leaps and bounds in the past 60 years, and I hope they continue to do that for the next 60 years.
I've always believed if you stand still, you'll never improve. So now we have to be more creative. We have to think outside the box more.
But what are we going to add to it to make Sandhills as impactful by the year 2083 that it is in 2023? And the future is going to be bright.